Well, hi everyone. Well, tales of woe this year, I'm afraid, up to now. The pair at the top, she laid 3 eggs the first round and they were all dead in the shell. And I watched them a bit this time round, and they do nothing but scrap, so she was never on the nest. So when she laid her eggs this time, I put a slider in. First of all, I put a wooden slider in, but she was never on the nest again because she was calling for the cock all the while. So I put a wire slider in now. She laid 3 eggs. One of them was fertile, and she's got a chick in there. It's probably around a week old now, so high hopes for that one. The pairing down here, she's actually sitting on 5 eggs at the minute, but there's one young from the first round in there, as you can see, sitting down there. There we go. She laid 3 eggs. All of them seem to be fertile, but only one hatched, and that's the young which has come from that hatching. I'm going to leave her in there for a while, or him, because it's still getting some food, but I don't mind leaving it in. I've got nowhere else to put the bird at the minute, so that will stay. Down here, the hen, which is the one nearest to us on the floor, she laid 4 eggs. All of them seem to be full, but none of them hatched, so I don't quite know what's got there. Mind you, there was some red mite in that nest, and I did clear that out and sprayed, but whether that had some effect, I don't know. There doesn't seem to be any red mite in any of the other nests. I've had a check, but I don't like to interfere. Once they go to nest, I'm not one of these that keeps dabbing in there and kicking them off the nest, and because I think, you know, well, saying that, they're not done very well this year anyway, so I've probably got a point there, but I don't know. I've got a cock, and I thought it was a hen, but I don't know, in there. They just seem to sit quietly together. 2 cocks are still in there fighting. I'm hopefully getting rid of them soon. The pair in here, I had high hopes for them. She laid 3 eggs. One of them hatched. She fed it for a week, and this morning, or overnight, she suddenly stopped feeding it, found it dead this morning, so another failure. The pair in here, she's actually on 4 eggs for second round. The first round, 2 of the 4 eggs hatched, even though I took all the eggs out and put the other one dummy eggs in, so hopefully they'll all hatch at the same time. 2 of them hatched, but she seemed to have favour just to feed the one, so one of them died after about 2 or 3 days. The other one grew to a fair size, and then it suddenly come out the nest, and I tried putting it back in, it won't go back in. And then when I went to work, because I'm at work all day, when I came home, the hen decided she wanted to go to nest again, so she stripped every feather apart from the odd wing feather out of the poor young. And I kept it, obviously it was still being fed by the parents, but the temperatures in the UK are so up and down at the minute. Even though today it's 24 degrees, it's been 5 degrees at night, and I even had to put a heater on trying to keep this young alive, but it was that stripped of feathers, and it won't go back in the nest, that after about 2 nights of standing the cold temperatures, I found it dead. I couldn't have took it out of the nest because I've got they wouldn't have no one to feed it. I couldn't have took it in the house. I was hoping putting the heater on overnight it would be okay, but no, I've lost that one as well. Pairing up here, I've just put another nest pan in. She laid 4 eggs, all were fertile, hatched 2 of them hatched. She fed them for 2 days, found them both dead, and I've had to separate this pair as well because these fight like mad. With the Redfactors, I've never had that problem of fighting, but these pair and the other pair at the end, as soon as the cock comes anywhere near the nest, she goes whappy, fights for dear life, and I've separated them. Probably separated them too late in the end because I lost the young, but I think if she lays some eggs this time, what I should do is, as soon as the eggs have laid, I should put a solid barrier in there and just leave her by herself without the cockbird. I don't know what to put it down to this year. I've done nothing different. As I said, you know, once the breeding season starts, I try to leave them alone. I don't do as little bit of maintenance as possible because I believe that they should be left just to be on the nest. You know, don't keep interfering and knocking them off and doing things. Just leave them. But it's not been successful anyway, so I probably ought to try something else next year. Anyway, that's the situation for now. I'll make another video when I've got a bit more information about how these are going on. So that's I hope everybody else has had a good season. From the messages I've been getting, most people are really struggling this year. A lot of people have had dead in the shell, a lot of people have had unfertile eggs. It just seems to be something that's going off in the UK. And like myself, I just put it down to the weather being so poor. The weather's so cold at nights, and then one week it'll be temperatures up in the mid-20s, the next week it's down to 13, 12. And the birds are all over the place. They just don't seem to know what's going off, and I presume that in the wild, I don't know what, you know, if they've had a good season. I shouldn't imagine they have. Anyway, that's enough of my moaning. Talk to you later. Bye for now.